I thought this was part of the deal.
No, you made the deal.
Oh, well, then
you
I don't
included
have to,
it in
then
the
I don't
deal.
have to complete it.
No,
then.
I agreed to it. It's part of the deal.
What?
now.
What? You can't say it's not part of the deal and then say it is part of the deal.
No, it's part of the deal. I just didn't ask for it.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
I see how this is going to be. Wow, people are so hurt about the hackers thing. Guys,
I'm not surprised he doesn't like hackers.
Oh, come on. It's
You haven't watched the whole thing.
so...
You're not going to like it, but you still haven't. I'm just saying, you should maybe hold comment until you've seen the whole thing. He's still going to hate it.
Oh, man. It is the embodiment of cringe.
You
It's
haven't even seen
repetitive.
Hack the Planet
The
yet.
writing is terrible.
The thing that people are hashtagging, you haven't even seen
The
yet.
one part of it that I would say has been somewhat redeeming so far is the hackathon hack competition where they're messing with the investigator or whatever. But even that,
Oh, isn't
as
that
someone,
more than halfway through? I think you're like right near the end.
no, it's like a halfway point.
Oh, wow.
But even that is it's like my suspension of disbelief.
You can't. No, you can't.
It's like, no, you actually can't do that. That's not how that works. It's not even okay, but just for the sake of advancing this plot point, we need you to kind of pretend this is plausible. No, it's the entire premise of the movie.
You notice how for years I asked you to watch...
Pentium 6? The f*** are you even talking about?
You notice how for years I asked you to watch one particular movie and I never asked you to watch this one? I think there might be a reason.
No, you've definitely told me I should watch this one before. I am sure of it. That's why I got
Not
it
as much
mixed
as
up.
the
That's
other
why,
one.
Yeah, no,
Not as much as the
you've
other one.
asked me to watch Pirates of Silicon Valley
Yes.
1,000 times.
Yes.
But you've still probably asked me to watch Hackers like 500 times.
Probably
Like,
because I don't know about that.
Yeah,
probably
it's a
because I
lot.
think it'd be funny though, and because I know that you're not necessarily a huge fan of one of the main.
I can't
actresses,
stand
actors.
Angelina Jolie.
And she's such a huge character.
I can't stand her in anything. She's one of those actresses where, you know what, honestly, I can get behind a lot of like the causes she's supported or whatever.
Sure.
Like that all seems fine. I'm not saying
Like,
she's
as a
like
person, no problem.
Yeah, as a person, I have no problem with her. I don't know her or whatever. Maybe she's great. I have actually no idea. I haven't seen anything to indicate that, she's doesn't do a good job of the things she's supposed to do, like be stylish and, do things that people like or whatever.
Sure.
But as an actor, I can't stand her. I can't even a little bit. And man,
And this
before
movie
she
might have,
learned
like,
to
defined
act,
that stuff.
yeah, not making it better. Sorry. Like this is one of those things. I remember reading this article that kind of put into words how I've always felt about it, and it was like, what good movie has she ever been in?
What do you mean? What's that? What's that movie where they curve bullets?
That's worse than Hackers. You're not helping this case.
What is it called?
That obscure video game Tomb Raider.
Oh, come on.
This is like
Even
sandwich after sandwich.
Dude, Wanted the movie. It's rated 6.7 on IMDb. Wow. 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. Curving bullets, dude.
Yeah.
Just whip your pistol like
I've
this.
heard Mr. and Mrs. Smith is not bad. Maleficent was tolerable. Barely. I'm sure the sequel was awful.
So many of these are like relatively close-in shots of her face slightly blurred. Like a weird percentage of them.
I don't know, man. Like she's one of those actors that has been in so many movies, and yet, man, this was awful.
I haven't even heard of it.
It was
Obviously, I've heard of Beowulf, but not that movie.
terrible. So bad. It's like, what here would you watch if you were looking to be entertained by a film?
Hackers.
Hackers is phenomenal.
Oh, man.
I just can't stand it.
I love Hackers, but I am incredibly not surprised by Linus's distaste for it because he's going to want it to be
have a coherent story.
Sure, that's fair enough. Yeah, he's
How
gonna
about
want
that?
that. He's gonna
Man, the number of times,
he's not gonna enjoy like Pool on the Roof as much as other people are.
dude, the number of times,
He's not gonna enjoy Garbage File and like give the rabbit a flu shot and stuff like that.
the number of times they make the joke of these guys living with their moms and
Yeah.
agents busting their door down.
And like a billion shots of the same thing.
Like, yeah, we get it. The agents go after them or whatever. Because they're like, what are these clubs? What are these like parties they're going to?
The rollerblade club where they play.
What the fuck is going on? I completely hit the wrong thing. Don't worry about it.
the rollerblade club that they go to or whatever.
Yeah,
And they play that weird
and they play
video
this
game.
weird like sim like flying game or something. And being good at it makes you a hacker or something. It's like,
Yeah, of course.
I can't tell. I am
not?
halfway through this movie. I legitimately can't tell if the writers knew absolutely nothing about hacking or knew everything about hacking and were taking the piss, because it is 0% or it is 100%. It is nowhere in between. You cannot be that wrong unless you know nothing or you are intentionally wrong.
They knew at least something. I don't
know that they did.
Because there's enough references that are like, that's a little niche. That's like weird that they would know that. But then the rest of it is so deeply wrong.
They might have had a little brother.
Maybe something like that. Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah. Somebody at some time said something that was somewhat correct. Like there's even scenes like when he pulls out the Hacker's Manifesto. Yeah, but
no,
then,
the
like,
freaking stuff was not real enough. The one where he just like presses the hang up button a bunch of times, that's not how it worked.
didn't he do that to get to an operator?
No, he did that to
Been a
like
long time since I've seen
he
it.
did that to pay the collect call charge or whatever. Like it was or the long distance charge or something. Like no, yet freaking yes. But also freaking was not hacking.
Yeah.
It was just making specific tone noises into the
But
phone.
there was a lot of crossover and interest at that time.
Sure.
Like a ton.
But
Yeah, he did it to get to an operator. Yeah, people are saying in chat. Yeah.
yeah, but he doesn't get to an operator in the movie. He
He does.
Yeah, but he somehow bypasses a paywall.
I don't know.
Okay, okay, whatever.
I haven't seen it in
Maybe
quite a
that
while.
detail slightly wrong. My point is,
Have you gone to the
it's
scene where
really
they're,
bad.
they're at a more realistic party, which is just like a party in somebody's house, and they see her laptop, and they're like geeking out over the laptop?
Oh my gosh.
That's going to break his mind.
Oh
I've seen
my
it.
That's going to
gosh.
shatter his mind. Wait, you have seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's terrible.
Of course it's terrible, but it's terrible in the best way.
Oh, man. Oh, so good. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he like can't enjoy stuff like that. So I'm not surprised he doesn't like it. But
Yeah, and
I
it's-
still think you should see it.
It's like, haha, computer nerds think computers are sexier than girls. It's like, yeah. No. I just mean this isn't even one of those things where I feel like especially in the early seasons, some of the criticism of Big Bang Theory from geeks, comic book nerds and all that is kind of, some of it was merited, and then some of it was just like an inability to handle someone poking fun at us. Like there were times when, I definitely felt shots fired, but I was okay laughing at it because it was, at least the comedic timing was good or whatever. Whereas
On Big Bang Theory?
yeah, some of the earlier seasons are not bad actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets really bad later.
I didn't see any of the early stuff. I've just seen like clips here or there, and I'm like, well, this is horrendous.
Yeah,
the whole like take the laugh track out of Friends and it's like not funny anymore thing.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a very intense version of that.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty bad. Anyway, my point is like in Hackers, I didn't feel like any of them were particularly funny shots or
I find them to be hilarious. I think it's really funny.
You know what? Maybe part of it is that you watched it when that would have been a little more edgy or something. Like I'm watching
Probably.
it now, and everything's mainstream.
Yeah, I saw this when I was like 13 or something.
I mean, it's still good 6 months ago. Like, it holds up. What about the antagonist with the skateboard? And he's like, the coolest.
I is here. You don't find that funny? You don't find the VR scene where he's like freaking out?
Or what about the video game that they play in the cool hacking underground club den?
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
No one ever
Have you
beats
seen
her.
Have you seen the VR scene?
Yeah.
The evil dudes in VR or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that very funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Okay. I mean, maybe this is one of those movies where if I was watching it with you instead of while folding laundry,
Probably.
the vibes would be different. But
Yeah. You can't take it seriously. You can't expect anything out of it that's like real at all.
No, it's not that I expect it to be real, Luke. It's
You
that
asked
it's
for the
just
hacking depictions to be more
it's-
realistic. That's like one of the first things that you said.
not more realistic. I mean, the suspension of disbelief is very difficult at that point. Like if the whole premise of a movie was that you embedded you embedded a brain parasite in the sounds that came out of people's cell phones or something. It's like, no, that's not biology. That's just not. It's just kind of stupid. Like it's not.
I know the reference, and I agree. Yeah.
No, I wasn't actually. What? That's a thing.
Wasn't that close to that thing that we did?
Oh no.
What was the? I don't remember exactly how that
Well,
worked.
we can't talk about that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that though.
Okay.
I just mean if it doesn't make any sense at all, even to like grade 7 science, educated person, then it just feels like
What about people's heads in Kingsman turning into balloons?
feels low effort. When did they turn into balloons?
Didn't
Wasn't
they
that
turn
in like
into
the
balloons?
third one though? And the third
yeah.
one was pretty
The
stupid.
first one was the best one.
The first one was good. I still enjoyed the second one. The third one was pretty bad.
Yeah, I found like everyone in the movie taking it seriously, but how obviously ridiculous everything was to be kind of fun. I also, when I first discovered it, was fairly frustrated about the depictions of hacking in a lot of different movies.
Mess with the best.
I like the rest. See, I find stuff like this very funny. I like watching that scene where they're like grabbing the videotapes from each other and stuff. Hilarious.
Yeah, it's cute. It's I don't know. It's
I think you're probably right. If I was there, you probably would have enjoyed it more.
sure. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
The first Kingsman, their head explodes with confetti effects.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Yep, I enjoyed it. The first Kingsman.
The first Kingsman is great.
I felt was camp in a way that was self-aware. Okay, I guess maybe that's part of the problem for me is I can't quite tell how self-aware Hackers is.
I think they're very self-aware, personally.
the tape thing.
The tape thing?
Yeah, the tape grabbing thing, the tape feeding machine scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. It went on for too long.
Yes.
Went on for way too
There's
long.
tons of scenes that go on for too long.
It's an hour and a half runtime. It's like so full of padding.
Yeah. You mentioned the police break-in scenes. Those get like really old and super repetitive. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what did you do? We get it. They live with their moms, and
There's one of them that just goes on. Maybe it was more than one, but there's one that I remember that just goes on for way too long. Like it's just a bunch of different clips of.
maybe
Police
that's
rushing
my
the
main
building.
issue. Is I'm halfway through this movie, and so far, here's a broad summary of what happens. This kid gets convicted of hacking and banned from using computers. But see, this happens in like the opening credits, essentially. So he grows up. He now lives with his mom.
Moved to the big city.
He moves to the city, and he meets a girl and some like hacker buddies who befriend him because he seems to be pretty cool because he can like move himself to different classes.
because he seems to be elite.
Thank you. Because he can move classes and he can turn on the sprinklers at will, which is a pretty elite hacker move. Then this girl love interest is not into him, but then they are like, there's some animosity between them. And then it turns out they're both hackers and, they had a hacker battle at some point. And then one of the hackers has a floppy diskette of a garbage file that they downloaded from a Gibson or something, but they only got half of it. But then there's a conspiracy where the garbage file is like some kind of, virus that can do something.
The person who wrote it disguised it as a garbage file, but it was actually this crazy virus that was going to take down tankers in the oceans, oil tankers in the oceans.
Yeah, because that's a thing you'd want to do for some reason.
Well, it was a ransom. So it is kind of that part, like, if you could do it, that makes sense as a thing to ransom.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
And so now they have to help their friend who's been accused of making that virus, but actually he just downloaded part of it or something, and he's being framed by the guy who actually wrote it, but he works for the government, and then they got to help him by like messing with the investigator. And then like every other scene, Angelina Jolie is like making out with someone.
The problem with what you just did is you just made it much more coherent than it is.
That made a lot of sense, actually.
Your explanation made way too much sense compared to actually just watching the movie.
I forgot that's what the movie was about. Yeah.
Like that was...
I'm just here for the awkward...
You couldn't help yourself make it make sense.
That's a really coherent plot line. Also, I don't know why you don't like this movie. You don't get that from watching the movie.
All of them are at least 25 and not in high school.
Okay, that's a pretty common thing, though.
I know, but it's so blatant.
It's pretty bad in this movie. It is pretty bad in this movie.
Movie's not. It's not about that. It's interesting hearing how you like consume
For something
media.
that's not about the hot high school chick who is actually 25. Boy, does it ever spend a lot of time on it.
I genuinely never cared about that part.
Sure.
Did you not enjoy the like descent scene? Multiple
I don't even
ones.
remember what that is.
They have like you're like a spaceship flying through a city, but the city is like the database within a computer.
Yeah, that's cute.
Hilarious.
Also, like it's not the database. It starts. You start out going through the city, and then it becomes components on a motherboard.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cute visual thing. It goes on for way too long. It's like, oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm gonna look at it for a long time now.
A lot of things in the show go on for too long.
Yeah, it should be like a 1 hour movie, and then it would be a tight 1 hour movie, and maybe like funny, but it drags out. It overstays its welcome.
Have you gotten to the like late night in the city steam coming out of the manhole covers
when the guy gets away with the motorbike? Yes.
Wait, gets away with the motorbike?
Yeah, he grabs the diskette and then he takes off or something. Is it a skateboard? I don't know.
He grabs on like the back window of a limo or something.
I don't know.
It's such a terrible, terrible movie. So you don't like so bad it's good type stuff?
I think I do, but not that one.
Oh, that's a
like okay. What's some other so bad it's good?
Okay,
movies?
my favorite film.
I think The Cable Guy is a piece of shit, inexcusable. It's so bad.
What is The Cable Guy?
That's one of those movies that people will defend as being a so bad it's good. I was literally the 1 year after that movie came out old.
I don't know this movie.
1996. Okay, I was 10 or 11 when that came out. I did not find that funny.
Isn't that a comedy?
Allegedly.
No. Comedies can't be so bad it's good. That's like it has to be sincere.
Okay. It has to
so
be bad it's good.
It has to be earnestly trying.
The Cable Guy is a comedy / thriller.
Yeah, so it's just a bad movie. So one of my favorite examples is In Time, with Justin Timberlake as the lead role.
I don't know that. Omnipious has Boondock Saints. That's not a bad movie. Is that a bad movie? I love Boondock Saints. IMDb, hold on a second. 7.7. No, that's not a bad movie. Like, what's Hackers? Yeah, like Starship Troopers is funny. I haven't watched it since it came out, but I definitely enjoyed it when it
Starship
came out.
Troopers is art. If you're saying that's
I love
bad,
Starship Troopers.
then you don't like that's satire. That is literally
No,
a comedy.
I'm just going based on...
No, there's somebody on the float plane. It's probably
float plane
Twitch chat. You know, okay.
Float plane chat, okay?
Starship
Starship
Troopers
Troopers
is satire. That is a
absolutely
comedy.
Yeah, like Galaxy Quest, also hilarious. That's not...
Yeah.
That's intentionally camp. It's a comedy. It's
Galaxy Quest and Starship Troopers are
okay.
amazing.
W. Calderini says Roadhouse. That's something I've heard is like a so bad it's supposed to be good action movie, but I haven't seen it.
I've also
Yes,
not seen
Boondock Saints is bad. How is Boondock Saints bad? It's got Willem Dafoe in it. It can't be bad by definition. Some people like The Room. I've not been able to make myself watch The Room. I've seen like bits and pieces. I don't need to watch the whole thing.
The like movie that was made like about The Room.
Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
So I think I've told this story before, but I watched Disaster Artist without knowing it was based on a true story.
Oh.
I tuned into it over someone's shoulder on an airplane.
Yeah.
So I missed the beginning. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty compelling. And I flipped it on at the point that they were at. And I was like, oh, it's a movie about people making an awful movie that doesn't make any sense. They want film and digital cameras pointed at every scene. So they'll just shoot on both. And no one knows where this guy's money came from. And he's so weird. This is crazy. And it wasn't until the end credits rolled and they did that thing where they show the recreations and the original movie side by side that I went, holy shit, this was a real movie.
That's actually a really interesting way to watch
It was
that.
an amazing way to experience.
That's quite the reveal at the
Yeah,
end.
I don't think most people would have
No.
that. That's really rare.
Yeah.
No,
That's amazing.
It's funny because these are the kinds of experiences that are most magical for me in movies, but are almost impossible to recreate. Another one of my favorites was. I forget which of the bazillion and one Marvel movies it was in, but the one where Thor ends up in a Colosseum fight and his opponent is the Hulk.
Okay. I stopped watching Marvel movies a long time ago.
This was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like 8 years ago or something like that. I don't remember when this one came out. It doesn't matter. The point is...
Is that the friend from work scene? Or I think I've seen that. Not the movie, but I think I've seen the scene.
Anyway, it doesn't... Ragnarok. Yeah, it's from Thor Ragnarok, which was definitely awesome. Anyway, the Hulk is like front and center on the movie poster. But I'd never seen it. I never saw a movie poster, never saw a trailer. And so this lead up to like, who is it in the movie makes no sense if you even glanced at the movie poster because you'll know who it is. But I got to experience it completely raw. And I was like, hey, it's the Hulk. So it was great.
Cool.
Not Hulk Hogan. Okay. I'm still trying to, maybe I just don't watch bad movies because none of these are, Monty Python. Okay, yeah, I'd say Monty Python is kind of a so bad it's good, but that's also comedy.
Yeah,
so Dan,
I don't think that counts.
You're saying anything that's comedy is not allowed?
No. So like the crossover, you can't. It's Luke unplugged it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
just
can
get my
make it
voice.
work.
he is in the chair anyway.
And it broke before I unplugged it.
Yeah, sure. No, there's a very, very fine line between what is so bad it's good, and not all of them are as of the same level of quality.
I loved Mortal Kombat. There.
So that might be a good example.
The original. That movie is f***ing awful.
Yeah, see,
But you like watching
I'm
it.
kind of surprised you can like Mortal Kombat and not Hackers.
No, because like the interpretation of what is so
'Cause
bad
Mortal
is
Kombat
good
is-
is very different.
Yeah,
for
but
everybody, right?
Mortal Kombat's action, though.
I enjoyed it as well.
It's like campy bad action, whereas Hackers is campy bad f*** all happens, and it doesn't make any sense. Like if in Mortal Kombat, one of the challenges was resolved through a game of like fucking tiddlywinks or something, then that also wouldn't make any sense, and it would take me out of it.
Fair enough.
But at least it has a clear intent. This is the tournament of saving the Earth, and Johnny Cage has to beat the weird thing with obviously fake arms on it. Like it's that 70s Batman, just sort of unironically terrible, and yet you can't look away. Like, yeah, no, there you go.
But
Okay,
they were
that's-
trying. They were trying to make a good movie, and they didn't.
Yeah,
you
I
can't
think they were.
fake. You
Yeah.
can't fake so bad it's good. Like hackers tried. The rest
Did
of
they
them
though?
tried.
That's the thing. I can't tell.
I think they tried to make a good movie.
I don't know if they did.
I don't think they tried to
cool.
make the hacking. Yes.
They tried to be cool. They wanted to make hacking look cool.
Yes.
I don't believe you. because
No,
that doesn't
no.
look Cool.
They failed at it.
But a lot of that was like style of the time.
People know what hacking is,
1995.
right? And
Do
they're
not talk to me about 1995.
You never had style. It's
I was
okay.
there when it was written.
Yeah, but you weren't in the cool club.
What do you mean I wasn't in the cool club?
You were never in the cool
like
club.
6.
Yeah, and you weren't in the cool club. Both of these things can be true. And actually, I was probably 4.
Oh, man. Okay, Napoleon Dynamite fucking sucks. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy it at all.
That was way overhyped. That was a very exhausting time to live in because, like, people at school would have the Vote for Pedro shirts.
Oh, it was kind of
People
it
were
was quotable.
so into it. It
Eat
was
your
just
food,
like,
Tina.
Oh man.
Maybe part of the problem was I watched it in like a feverish like fugue state because I was like I was very sick. Like I was bedridden. And even in that state, I couldn't bear to sit through it. It was so bad.
I didn't mind it, but it was exhausting.
Oh,
like people were too into it. It was kind of insane. It was one of those things that where like at that time, if you weren't into it, you were like looked down upon and it was weird. So like people would be into it just to be cool, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it was
And
kind
it
of
was
the,
just like-
the hit thing at the moment, right?
Ugh. Yeah, it was very okay now. It was a lot. It was too much.
I've got one that'll get me canceled.
Mm.
My Neighbor Totoro.
What? Sorry, you're calling that a bad movie?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, nothing happens in it, but
exactly.
I think for me, I actually only watched that fairly recently, like a couple years ago. I watched it with my kids. It was great. It's not as good as what's the one where they end up in like the hotel for like monsters or whatever. I forget what that one's called. Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Definitely not as good as Spirited Away. But like my kids
Chad's
just
so mad.
I told you they would cancel me.
Yeah,
it's
Spirited Away is absolutely incredible.
it's just raw childish wonder. I don't know.
Totoro's more like it's
Exactly.
like a poem as
it's
a movie.
it's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's wonderful.
visual.
You can't say it's wonderful now.
Electro,
Yeah, but it's a bad movie.
Electrobot says
a great
Mars
experience.
Attacks.
What?
Mars Attacks.
What?
Mars Attacks is great,
Yeah.
but it's also not trying to be. It's trying. It is exactly.
Yeah.
Anytime Tom Jones shows up, it's exactly what it's trying to be. All right.
Yeah. Jeez.
Why don't we move on?
Okay.
I feel like we're probably losing a lot of viewers right now forever.
That's
Going
my
after
fault.
My Neighbor Totoro.
That's
How
literally
dare
me.
you?
I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
This will be the next controversy.
So wait, you said bad movie, great experience?
Yeah, as Linus said, nothing happens. But like it's magical the whole time and really
But
good.
you had a great time.
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Nah, movie is a thing, you know.
I disagree.
Like we can say the same thing about Hackers. Like I liked watching Hackers the whole time.
it's a terrible movie.
And I liked watching Neighbor Totoro the whole time.
Yeah, but Hackers. I think comparing Hackers and Totoro is
I told you.
a very difficult.
I told you canceled.
a difficult essay to write.
In this essay, I will destroy my entire professional career. Miyazaki, Hackers, same playing field. Angelina Jolie,
Cat Bus.
Cat Buzz. Sorry.
All right.